starting on racial justice, when you see everything happening and what we just saw there in Wisconsin, what's important from your work about countering that?
Well, exactly what the book says, Superman's not coming. And we do see environmental racism, and they oftentimes bear the brunt of the issue. And it definitely takes longer to fix, but we're seeing it everywhere. And I think that's one thing that's happening as we're waking up and you're watching this unfold. It has been years of no action. They have felt they can't speak up. They've been suppressed back not to speak up. There's been socioeconomic factors. There's been deceptions. There's the idea that they're going to go away, and they've been overlooked, and we are not listening. And I think we're at a moment where we are seeing it, acknowledging it, speaking out against it, and up for it, and getting right down to we the people, where if this isn't going to get done, we have to act, we have to get involved, we have to join together, and we have to make a change.
How much of environmental justice in today's global world requires people understanding and regulating what international corporations do? Because some of them are as powerful as countries, if not more so. They have their own foreign policy. And part of the argument I think you and others have alluded to is, yes, they make money and employ people, and people need jobs. But sometimes what they do is externalize their costs. So we read about this settlement or what it takes to make people whole, and sometimes taxpayers end up footing the bill for that later, while in the short run, the corporation says, oh, look how much money we made.
Correct. And, we often talk about we're doing things kind of ass backwards that way, if you will, and need to look at some new business models, if you will. And the idea that you have to do it the way you do in order to make money is ridiculous, because the environment's being degraded, people are being harmed, our health is suffering. And we've got to start putting infrastructure, safety, and people first. And when you do that, I think there's this idea that if you don't do that, you don't make money, which is ridiculous. I think that it's like the gig is up. We're all starting to see what's happening. And it's a business model that doesn't serve any of us moving forward into the future. And we've neglected putting our money first in infrastructure, safety, and people. And then down the line, creating horrific scenarios, huge lawsuits, and billions and billions of dollars that should have gone in on the upfront for infrastructure, safety, and people first.
Understood. Politically, of course, we all know how polarized so many things are, but it's useful to remember that there were presidents who happened to be Republicans that did a lot for the environment and conservation, Roosevelt, Nixon.
Yes.
Yes. And there's nothing automatically, as far as I understand it, there's nothing automatically conservative or right wing about being against conservation of the environment or the globe. Take a look at a little comparison here from Nixon to today.
We can no longer afford to consider air and water common property, free to be abused by anyone without regard to the consequences. Instead, we should begin now to treat them as scarce resources, which we are no more free to contaminate than we are free to throw garbage into our neighbor's yard.
The Paris Climate Accord, which was unbelievably expensive to our country, would have crushed American manufacturers. We stopped the egregious abuse of the Clean Water Act, which extreme activists have used to shut down construction projects all across our country.
What do you see there in that evolution?
We almost don't seem the same party. We talk about that speech in my book, Superman's Not Coming, and I don't understand. The politics of it really drives me crazy. I was actually raised by a Republican man who worked for industry and taught me the very value of the environment and water and clean air. And it's like the party's moved away from that. This should be both sides of the aisle's issue for the common good for all of us. And I think the politics makes a big problem in getting that message out. And we have made some terrible environmental moves. Leaving the Paris Climate Accord, rolling back regulations, and the split. We have somehow got to come back to that middle again, where we aren't especially on the issues of water and air for not only everybody here in our country, but on this entire planet that we all call home. And it is in peril. Every one of us is experiencing and seeing what's happening with back-to-back hurricanes, more flooding, rising sea levels, drought on the West Coast, more fires burning hot. I don't understand why both sides of the aisle put down the fight, get back to your job, get to the business at hand of the environment, which all of it cannot be sustained without.
Right. We only have one Earth. Look, I appreciate your passion, how long you've worked on this, getting on the beat. I hope you'll come back. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.